bad, man. Feels bad. So here, we'll use a yellow for characters. Do it after. And let's say you're specialing over here, and I can probably make this a bit bigger so it's clearer on the screen. There we go. So depending where the character is that you're special shotting against, from what I can see, if they're in this back quadrant, for the most part, I'm going to turn that opacity down a bit more. Let's say they're here, right? Just theoretically. If you special shot either... Oh, I need to do the lines first. Down here. Down here. Anywhere in this quadrant is what I'm talking about, okay? When I put it here, it means the whole quadrant. Or straight up into that quadrant. They're always going to hit it. And I think what I'll need to do afterwards is break the quadrant down into this, for this to explain this last one. Forward trick shot, back trick shot, right trick shot, you're always going to hit the special there, no problem. Oops. That's what we want. This one will break down again into one more quadrant. If you trick shot here or here, a right trick shot will still reach it. If you trick shot into these, we can get a bigger angle away from it. They won't be able to trick shot into it. It will bounce too high. Shots lose speed if you don't let the ball bounce. So if you aim over here to the far left of the court, then it's going to be slower because you didn't hit it here. But if you hit it here, they'll still get it. So that's the fastest way to get to that one, right? So let's break it down further now. Let's get rid of the ellipse. These aren't very accurate quadrants, I do apologize. So now, this is how I'm looking at it in my head when I play now. But I want to break it down into further quadrants afterwards. Sorry they're not straight lines, just can't be asked. I want to do this quickly. So this is for trick shots, I guess. I mean, we could really, and I should, break it down a bit further. This is what every square should actually, well, except that should be a perfect one. Otherwise visually it just looks ugly. Those are quadrants there for trick shots. We won't bother with that. Hells yeah, man! A bit of Moon. I love these soundtracks. These front four here. Let's get a paintbrush here. Am I not allowed to on this layer? Yeah. You should never really enter these four quadrants if you want to be trick shotting. The only time you can really go into those is if the other player back trick shots. Because if they back trick shot, pretty much as long as you're in around this line here, if you're in this area, And I think the exception to this is probably going to be Peach. If you were between this line here, of these two quadrants, whether they trick shot that way or that way, your trick shot is always going to end up being actually just far enough to hit it. Because the return's never strong enough to go all the way to the back. I think another exception is probably Boo and Rosalina. If you know what they're like, if you know what they're going, then you can probably step here and cover this area. But that's only if you can predict them. Otherwise you want to stay in this area to trick shot. If you're in the next line, let's go with nice teal here. If you're in this area, the only thing that can stop you, trick shot wise, is a drop shot if you press back. And when I say a drop shot, not one where they try to drop shot but they're off balance, because that's always going to be strong enough that the drop shot always is going to land on after its first bounce. It's going to land around here. And if you're in this quadrant, after the first bounce, the character will get a charged energy. These are all for gaining energy, by the way. Will gain a back shot, because the back shot has such a good range for whatever reason. You can go so far back with them. You can go as far back from like here to here if you trick shot straight away, or as close as from here to here, which is why I have that second line. If you're standing here, you'll hit that trick shot, but if you're here, then obviously you're just going to hit it anyway, hopefully, if you've got a good instinct to react to styles of shot. This one you also you trick shot backwards from this area that's highlighted light blue, you're pretty much going to get any area here. And pretty much any area here as well, which is why I'm always trying to stay in those front two. Sorry, this second row, if you're going from right to left, second row of quadrants. So if I'm not sure about shots, I will position, at least for me with Mario, I position to these four quadrants. So either on the left or the right side, depending, like, you know, I might be over here. And so I'll try and position myself here because it's the shortest distance, right? Shot's coming in, it's gonna come around like that. If I back trick shot, I'm gonna get the energy, even if it comes around like that. So that's why it works a lot with even powered lob shots. Mario's just gonna, for me at least, come back here and send it straight back across again, whether I go left or right or straight down the middle. It won't matter at that point. It depends on their playstyle as well. You know, if they're serial drop shotters, I instantly just ride this line here with a focus on this area. So these four quadrants here, that's a bit too much. So from there, if a drop shot comes in, I can either go forward if it's going to go straight down. I will run forwards a little bit and then from this quadrant do a left or right trick shot. But I won't get any energy from that, but that's my fault from assuming this position here. I gotta sacrifice the energy. I'm gonna get plenty from doing forwards and backs anyway. And then if they are like drop shotters, I'll do the forward trick shot. And I'll position it to one side because it's a drop shot, right? When you forward trick shot to a drop shot. So it's either going to end up there, it's going to end up there, or if you're on this side, it's going to end up there or there. We got a nice Wario symbol. If they come over here and drop shot again, there are only possibilities are to drop shot here, here, or here. So if you stand, after you drop shot that way, you move in, and you're going to stand about here, and you're always going to be able to hit. That's what they call the nectar as well. So when you hear me saying like, oh, nectar, it's because I did the forward trick shot into this area and then force them to have this tight angle where they can't really get past you, and then you can just send it past them like that over there. And most of the time, they won't hit it back. If they do, they're obviously gonna instinctually hit it that way because it's away from you. You can just side trick shot because you're in that quadrant at that point. Send it back down the line wide, and then they're gonna suffer from it. But I call it the nectar because I mispronounced it. I tried to say net shot and I said nectar, so. But especially like, because you're doing a lot of back trick shots, that's what they expect from you, right? They expect you to go backwards, so they try to drop shot you again here, but because you're in this area where you actually start the charge of the shot, if they're lobbing, you just hit L quickly, run backwards slightly. So let's say you're here waiting to get off a nectar. They're gonna, I don't know, lob it over like that, right? You just cancel, you move back into this quadrant, and then you trick shot to get it. You won't get energy from that, but at least you saved the point, right? At that moment. And if they're going back to the baseline a lot, then it's super easy. You just, oops, controlling. Yeah, let's get back. If they're just like sitting here the whole time, then just move back into this quadrant here. It depends on who you're playing as well, which quadrants you want to stand in. Like Rosalina and Boo, it's either going to be they're going to prefer slices. That's just how they're conditioned to play. A slice is either going to go like this, which means this whole area of the court is null and void. This half here. The closest to the center this is going to be is at this point. So if you're standing, just reflect this to the other side. If you're standing in this quadrant, yeah, T-Ron. I'm trying to break it down in my head and articulate a bit more so it's easier for me to see, like when I'm playing. So if you're in this quadrant, even this quadrant to a certain extent, well, maybe not that back one actually. No, that's wrong. Either here, and you got these 4 quadrants here, right? This little line of squares. Trick shot forwards. It's gonna, firstly give you energy. It's also gonna intercept that ball before the curve actually gets any power. And if they're over there, they're either gonna be moving over here, or they're gonna anchor themselves. You just watch them as the animation goes on, and you put it to, I don't know, if they're anchoring here, you just send it over there. And if they're moving, you send it over there. That's too long, that line, because it's a drop shot over here or over there. And they're going to find it difficult unless they use energy to make it over there or make it over here. So wherever you drop shot it. So it becomes very difficult. But if you've got like a Waluigi who's like sitting in the middle, you got to meet him in his quadrants. Because you want the distance short so he can't charge, like Rosalina or Boo as well. You want to meet them in their quadrants. They're obviously going to be probably somewhere there for a lot of their games. Trying to hit, you know, trying to get those early charges because they charge so quickly and they don't have to worry too much about reach. Especially because everyone's got the double tap mentality. So whenever you hit a shot, if you hit it twice, it's faster, but it goes more towards the center of court. So let's say you're trying to hit it this way, right? If you double tap, it's going to go like that. If you single tap, it will go slower, but it's going to be more like that. Well, my TV's trying to turn itself off. So if you got a Waluigi who's sitting here, it's not perfect yet, T-Ron. About 75% success rate so far, which is a lot higher than when we started yesterday. yeah, dude. It gives you it makes you more technical, the single hits. Whereas it makes you more powerful, the double taps. So you can really mess up a Waluigi who's just going to be sitting there, or sitting here, or sitting there, and you know, you just put it on the opposite side. If he's over here, you want to hit it over there. If he's assuming that you just want to, you're gonna, I don't know. He's expecting you to charge, right? Let's say he's center, actually. Let's assume he's center. And he's just hitting charge every time. Yeah, pretty much, Choco. How you doing, man? As soon as you hit, right, he's going to be, like, charged because, you know, with his reach, he's fairly easily going to hit these quadrants. No problem, because he can charge and move. So he's just going to edge up along that quadrant. You've hit it there. He's going to get his shot off. It's going to be supercharged. Top spin. You're going to try and back trick shot that. You're going to hit it down there. He's already charging. He just goes back over and you're knocked back, and then the drop shot comes in and it's over. The point's done. But if you do the one tap, he won't be able to reach it with the charge. He'll get to here and the drop comes in and he'll be out of, he'll still get it, but he'll be out of balance, which gives you energy when a character fails to properly strike the ball. And it comes off weaker as well. It's either going to come down here, or it's going to come across there. If you're in this quadrant as Mario, at least, I don't know about others. At that point, you move in to that quadrant. You can back trick shot, and all this is covered by the back trick shot, which means you gain energy off his misbalanced hit. And then you're back in control of the game. He's over here right now. You've hit it across. Can I do it with right click? No. Get away! So he's over here right now. You back trick shot, get a nice bit of energy, send him off that way. He can't charge, he's got to go over there, and suddenly you're calling the shots. You know he's going to probably hit it either down there or down there. So you return to the center, you back trick shot to those areas. And the energy's all yours after that. You just turn the game around on them. So that's where Waluigi's tend to stay. If they're on the back baseline, they're essentially playing a power character, and they should play Bowser at that point, because Bowser's like, I don't know, Bowser takes up like this much of the court, and so with his charge shots, he can move those two quadrants, no problem. It's crazy. It'd have to be a very, I don't know, a cross court, well angled shot to really juke Bowser at that point, which it's just not going to happen because he's just going to keep sending it straight down the center, whether he's over here. That's Bowser's power right there. Bowser is the core. Same with Chain Chomp. They're going to try and keep you central. They don't want to move much, you know? They don't want to move much, and if they have to move, they don't want it to be too much. So with that, because again, everyone double hits, every shot's going to be pretty coned in towards the center. And unless you're in a good position and you... let's get rid of that first. So unless you're able to predict exactly where their rallying is going to be. So if, I don't know, you played a few points with this Bowser, right? You know that when he moves down here, he likes to drive it down the line, or he goes across quite often. So if you've got that knowledge, you know you're going to hit it down there. It's coming across here, so you put yourself back over here, and then you can attack inwards with the forward trick shot and drop it here for him. He's never going to reach that. He's going to struggle even with... Because he's slow, right? Even his trick shot, he's never going to be in the right quadrant for his trick shot. With the drop shot, you're going to want to be like in these at least to get a trick shot off on one of those forward trick shots. Yo TJ, what's up, man? Welcome back. Yeah, dude, to me, man, this is the real Smash, the Super Smash. It's so, I don't know, it has the same impact as what the like Melee had. It's such a fighter game, this one. So that's the theory to me of trick shotting, and so I'm always careful about where I'm placing myself. If we look at this, hang on, let's start getting all these further quadrified. These aren't going to be super accurate, I'm sorry. And this is character dependent as well. Don't assume that you can just do what I'm about to say and it's gonna apply for every character. So there it is now. So now we turned our quadrants into 8ths. And is that into 16ths now? Yes, now we're down into 16ths. Depending on their behaviors, always depending on their behaviors. And how you can condition them to go. Let's see. Let's first do the no areas. Definitely not. Never go there. Never go here. That's bad. Okay. Hey, phrase. Dream positions. I mean, the dream is really to just try and be central as much as possible with the trick shots, because they have such a massive cone. Just going over some theory for the Mario Tennis dude. So did you get fired from GOG then, man? Are you no longer part of the stream team after? No, I'm kidding. This area is fine, I would say. This quadrant here is pretty good. Because then you can either do back trick shots if it's gonna be coming around behind you. But I put these in darker, right? Because you gotta be ready. If there's a lob coming in and you're back trick shotting from here, you're not gonna hit it. Not even a little bit. Although if you're in these quadrants, you will. You gotta be right on this line though, which is what this is here. You gotta be right here, so probably here as well. It's good for the back trick shot, but we'll cover this quadrant still. You do the back trick shot. If it's a lob, cancel, move into this quadrant, and then back trick shot. Don't worry, drop shots have a lot of time. So, because they're just so high up in the air, you know. Another dangerous thing about this, if another drop shot happens after you've come forward here, you're going to back trick shot, it's going to miss. If it goes right, especially against a peach, you back trick shot, you're going to miss. It's a very high risk area, this one. You're best off going for nectar, which is what I was explaining before, where you just push into this quadrant if you're here, and just do the quick double tap to knock it over this way. If they hit it again, it's probably going over there, so then you can just do the right trick shot to hit this. Let's just highlight that on this side as well, actually. I would say the same thing as well. Wait, I put those as no-go areas, right? No. We want to go. These are okay areas to go to. What was the no-go? Bright pink, right? Yeah, I don't think you should ever be on the sidelines here and trick shot. I think if you're in these pink spaces, you need to be ready to just do a rally hit or reposition as quickly as possible. These, again, same theory as this square, but just the opposite. You try to forward trick shot out of these quadrants and it's a drop shot. If it's a charged one, you're going to miss. If it's not balanced, you're going to hit. And if one's going off that way, you're not going to hit with a forward trick shot. You've got a right trick shot. So these are sort of the areas that you can... Well, maybe this one's actually fine. No, because of the net play. Yeah, because of net play. I think that's the line there. That's the mid line. Yeah. Anywhere here, you're standing, you can pretty much execute a trick shot either backwards or forwards. And then this is Peach. And this is Peach for Bowser Jr. You're gonna get a charged trick shot out of it, no matter what. They'll just have to have a really tight angle for you to miss. Yeah, I mean, this is the net here. If you're here, it's no good. You're really screwing yourself at that point. Because you're exposing yourself to easy lob shots. Provided, I mean, you can play the psychological game up at the net, and these become a little bit safer. These 4 here, because you're just doing quick balls back, right? They're gonna have a tough time to react in their heads. It's like, oh, I should be doing a lob shot, but to a lob shot you need the forward and X, but you're also moving left and right really quickly. There's not enough time to get the button inputs done. So a lot of aggressive, probably the top players do kind of sit here with bigger characters. I'm just explaining about Mario with trick shots. But here for like trick shot area, it's no go. This area is okay though, but just don't forward trick shot. You have to, I don't know, maybe I should change that to this then. You should get ready to zone speed if you're this far back. You should really get ready. And this area is okay. I guess we can make it a bit darker there to reflect these ones. It's a nice shape. It's made a nice shape there. But you just gotta, in these zones, you gotta get ready to use energy if you want a trick shot. Especially if, I mean, if you're off the court, then you definitely need to use zone energy. And you don't gain zone energy even with the perfect trick shot. You just don't slow down time. Which gives them less reaction time, so it's not a total loss, I suppose, at that point. But I just feel like, I suppose those are okay. So they're very high risk, these areas. These are, don't even think about trick shotting. And these are, it's okay to trick shot as long as you are ready to either go forward. Like here, this quadrant, you either got to ready to go forward trick shot, back trick shot, or right trick shot across the court. You won't reach there with that. You've got to move into this quadrant to reach there. So the distance is very different. And then when it comes to specials, I mean, if you put yourself like here, then you can assume that either they're gonna, a lot of players, except for Kazi, because Kazi knows about it, a lot of players are gonna try and hit like in these areas for their special shots, like really down close to the net. So if you're here, you just left or right. Or if they're trying to put it behind you, you just back trick shot, but you need to be in this quadrant to get it. These sets of quadrants here to get it, and then you can reach it. And same thing at the baseline, it's a lot easier because it goes right or left, and your trick shot, if you're here, it's going to land if you can go forwards, but if it goes here, you're going to miss. Depending on the angle that they get, they can hit down here. Dirty angles are the best one, yeah, because it makes them run. It makes them run, or you just like abuse their assumptions. So if they're on like here, they assume you're gonna special shot aim here, so they start running here. But if it actually comes here, they go, oh god. No, not many can. I don't think many will ever learn that, honestly, dude. I think it's way too tough. It's a very high technique, and it doesn't pay off enough, I think, for most people. You gotta be crazy like us, right? You gotta be mad professors. Is it landing the trick shot or where's position to be ready for them? So it's the position to initiate the trick shot. So here, look, let's look at it now. If I get the game up here, I'll keep this just we'll keep it down here. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know if this is possible. Let me just play against the computer here real quick. Here I go. Can you see the court still? The quadrants? Ugh, not the mast, man. This is not gonna go well. Fuck. I forgot to change it up. Okay, can you see enough of the court as well? So I move in, straight into that quadrant, position myself in this 4 corners. If I feel like he's getting enough charge, I move into the bottom left. Thanks, Everglow. I hope you do as well. DK, please, man. So I go here. It's enough, that trick shot. So I was here in this quadrant, back trick shot, it was enough to hit up into these quadrants here, which I was talking about before. It's these ones here that I'm trying to stand in when that happens.
Looks like you got a hole.
Jack! Hello there, matey. How you doing, sir? Oops. 3 point for you, DK. So I'm in that front quadrant. I was a little bit too slow there. I'm standing in this one here, just hitting back. No, it doesn't ever glow. I know, it's so much better. It's not burning. That's a nice thing about it. There's no real practice mode, no. I mean, I'm soft hitting to him. Jeez. Hey, Bansand, how's it going? Classy cats, raiding the old chat, coming in with all of that. So again, just standing on that same side. These quadrants here, if you put it to the right, I would have been pretty much okay with that. Mario still would have gone forwards. I still would have been able to counter that shot. Right there, boom. Move back a bit. Just wait for it. Straight up again, in his face. Keeping that distance close, just in case something happens, like that. Move over to, because I was standing in that quadrant there, but I saw he went left, so I just flicked to the white line that was in between the two quadrants. So I moved into here, like that, because he went to the left, so I just adjusted slightly and then did the back trick shot, just quick enough to actually still make energy off it. Let's move into that quadrant, centralize again, back off, he actually full trick shotted there and still didn't work for him. Because, like, you get time with some of the shots that are going to take a while to land, because trick shot initiates just before the ball lands. It's a well-timed thing in the game. DK's obviously just not cooperating right now. So on the lob shots, you get the time. You saw me there charging. That was a trick shot. That wasn't a regular shot I was doing. If I hit L, I can cancel. I can readjust the quadrant I'm in and then initiate the trick shot again. But I'll do that slower, depending on the speed of the lob shot. You can get the charged trick shot one more time after the first bounce. But you have to be the right distance away, again, within that certain scope of area. I wonder if I can get DK to lob me. Oh god. Alright, we'll see what Bowser can do. There's a lot of hazards on this level. There's going to be people in the way. So if I just move into this quadrant, that was fine. Move into this quadrant, go forwards. Back into this quadrant again. So you can see I'm basically playing hopscotch with these 4 areas around those white lines there. Always go forward with the Bowser. We can cancel, we can move back, or we can wait for the second bounce to come in. I was 2 forwards. 2 back. I was in the wrong quadrant there. So I'm trying to explain it while I'm doing it. Let's move in. Move in. Oh, that shy guy will do it for me instead. Alright, cool. Back into the quadrant. Okay, I'm not allowed to play apparently. That's fine. Back into the quadrant. You can just sit here and, like, because Bowser types, just try to keep it central. And you'll be able to just sit there and just keep doing it. This is my strat explained a bit more. You can find those quadrants here. Especially if they're central players, you know, if they're going to double tap a lot, it's just going back to the center. And you're just going to be able to trick shot all day with them after that, even with that forwards one. Come back here! Back into the middle, trick shot. Done. With the right angle, they'll fail, yes. This is just forward and backwards, is what I'm showing here. Once you get into right and left, then you need to start moving into those other quadrants that I've shown over there. I didn't get there in time, unfortunately. So you go here, you charge a shot, charge a shot, charge a shot, and then you can trick shot if you miss that. So you can just kind of sit there and dominate the half court with this. And at that point, Bowser's gonna lose the point there. So that's how the quadrants work. To me, anyway, in my head, that's what what you're seeing on my desktop capture is what I'm going for. And my positioning is always going to be, depending on the style of player they are. Bowser's very central, which is fine. Oops, that was way too late. And I let go of L or R. Any character, really. Different characters have different reach with their trick shot, it seems like. Because Bowser Jr., like this fucker, Bowser Jr., can probably trick shot from here and reach the other side of the court in a single trick shot. That's just because he's defensive and speedy and technical and tricky and whatever else. He's a little shit, honestly. So you see there, I did the forward trick shot, I hit it over to the right, and I moved into the right quadrant around that mid line. So I'm in the back one, go forwards, back into this one, getting ready for the next shot to do a back trick shot. Also, if they ever do a back trick shot, move into the middle and do a back trick shot as well. You get a perfect one straight away. So their energy gain with a back trick shot will give you energy gain. Where? What? When they back trick shot and they get a successful one, here, let's go back over to here then. Make this bigger again. If they do a back trick shot, let's say, yeah, we'll go with that. Let's say they've gone, I don't know, because I was playing Ninja, he's a Daisy character. He was back trick shotting from here, backwards, like out of the court, and going across, or going this way. All I had to do to get myself some nice energy was to stand in this quadrant and back trick shot. It didn't matter that the ball was landing here because the next bounce is going to be here because of the amount of power on it. The bounce is going to be huge, so we're going to miss that, and we're going to get the energy off those landings there with our back trick shot. It doesn't even matter at that point. It doesn't matter if you're here and the ball goes there. The trick shot is still gonna work. So it gets super simple to generate energy. And then the baseline style, it's all about psychology at the back line and energy economy. If you want to just do rallies with defensive or power characters. But that's pretty much it. That's why I'm always like, if I fail, I'll just say like that was bad footing. That's what I mean. It's because I was here when I trick shotted when I should have been here, or even like just being here instead of here. Those two lines. Yeah, I don't know what YouTube's doing right now. It's going. Wow, wah, wow, wah, wah, wow, wow. Yeah, that's Waluigi having a rally, isn't it, Martin? When will my icon change? Pepe hands. Which icon? Oh, you're still Bowser. I don't know, when you get good. So that's it. That's what I'm practicing right now, and I would actually say that this whole strat here with the trick shot is more for speedy characters than it is for anyone else. It's good. If you're gonna use defensive or power characters, like this is your backup strat. Like if you're getting outplayed, if you're both on the baseline, both power or defensive, and you're getting outplayed, then you want to move in and start using this to dominate the movement, forcing them into the mid-court here, or even closer into this area, in fact. And then once you've done that, you move back and you go back to the baseline rallying, which forces them back, but you're telling them where to go at that point, right? You're predicting the state of play, and if you lose after that, it's your own fault. You gotta force them to do different things, and you just gotta analyze each character, where their strengths are, where they like to stand. I mean, I would say from the good players, a Peach will pretty much be. Actually, a Peach can go up to here as well. Will pretty much be here for the whole match, depending on who they're playing against. This box here. So I think a lot of Peaches get comfortable with a lot of the court. That's what makes them so deadly. They get very comfortable very quickly. They can predict the state of play without any real issue. They're crazy. So you got to try and like start opening them up to this area of the court, which is what the charge shots are for. Which is why you then need to start looking at trying to predict them, where they place the ball, so you can get charge shots to knock them back out of here, push them back into that area where they're not comfortable, and then start laying them up with the drop shots. But they won't. A good Peach player won't care about that because they just use their zone speed to get in because they've made so much off you already. You got to be really quick with it to do that. So you just got to push them into areas they're not comfortable playing. If they're, I don't know, if it's Bowser or Chain Chomp, bring them to the front. They're used to just sitting there and charging all game. They're not gonna know what to do with the quick rallies, and you go up, you meet them at this area, they never get anywhere. They're gonna do a quick lob, you move back into your area, you trick shot, they get back, you push them forwards again, and you're just gonna out-generate their energy so easily. So easily, it's crazy. There's poor characters. But that's it, that's a trick shot really. With including specials and zones as well. Including that. Which one? I think it's image 3. Yeah, we'll get rid of that because we haven't got it up today. Martin, sorry dude, are you still there? Do you want to play a quick one and then I'll head off for today? That took a bit longer. I almost did that for what, 45 minutes? Whoops. My bad. I got into that a bit too much. But it's very important to know about that, I think. Courts are... Yeah, I'm sorry, Kazi. Tomorrow's a long day. Tomorrow's a long day, so we'll be back at it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll put KO loss on. Extended. Alright, Martin, get your butt in here. We'll have a quick game, then I'm done. I'm sorry, Kazi. If you're up for some doubles tomorrow, I'd love to start looking at metas for doubles as well. Team comps. Like, who's going to be good at the front, who's good at the back. I mean, I instantly want to say Bowser and Yoshi are going to be a great team up in doubles. Just have Bowser on the back line, Yoshi in the front. Again, both just in the center of the horizontal lines of the court. Oh, let's go, sorry, Martin. And just have Yoshi doing the 4 trick shots. Never has to back trick shot, going left and right. Let's see how much attention Martin is playing. Playing Pain. Just Bowser Jr. Just both playing Bowser Jr. That's the meta. Oh, it's not me. Okay. Couldn't tell. Ugh. Yeah, I was in the wrong quad. I would never have hit that back. Of course you are, TJ, but no one's ever gonna fucking play with you because you're a cock at doubles, mate. See, I can go here now and trick shot in, but you don't make energy off doing that, so it's always gonna be a total waste. I should have gone back there. There we go. You're in the wrong quadrant there, Martin, for the forward trick shot. You weren't going to be able to reach that unless you slowed down time. As I was saying before, where you're positioned there, you should charge a shot. And if I go across court, then you trick shot. You're not going to lose too much from it. No, never trick shot from there, dude. Not these areas. It's going to hurt you. Full trick shot always results in a drop. Why is my bar not blue? We still won, yeah, because it's chaotic. We played again yesterday's in pars in a doubles match, and dude, it was TJ just running in front of the serves and shit again. Fucking asshole. Ugh, I was in the wrong quad. Should have been a bit more left. Yeah, I saw you going for that. You're in the wrong quad. Watch your Mario. Watch your Mario a bit more. Who is this fake Brit? What do you mean? Which fake Brit? Getting ready for Nectar. You see, I was just standing in those quadrants there, ready for it. Good game, Martin. It's tough, man, right? To get that trick shot down and make sure you positioned yourself while still watching the other character and learning their moves as well. That's why Mario's really tough. And that's why you got, like,